try something. Right. Evening, folks. Well, I suppose it's just a normal day for you guys, for a lot of you anyway. It's pretty late in the evening here, much later than I personally anticipated. Unfortunately, I was kind of caught off guard. I was busy this afternoon clearing rubbish and mowing the yard, doing all the good homeowner things, and I didn't realise it was so late. Oh, crikey. Good thing I didn't open that up. Right, a whole bunch of personal information on that form. So yeah, we've got an HP with a bung button already. That's a fine start for a... Gonna stay down? Probably not. I don't even know what's wrong with this. Let's have a look. No display, but no damage to the screen. Oh, okay. Alright, well I guess that answers that. We've got our... No display, but no damage to the screen. Yeah. This is probably going to be a full of regret job. I don't know why I think to take these on. Some sort of ludicrous obsession with hurting myself, I guess. Let's see, this looks like it's using blue connector. Okay, I'm going to see if it's no display or no backlight. They say no damage to the screen, but that's not to say that it doesn't actually have backlight failure or something like that. That's entirely plausible. I'm just trying to get a power. Yep, I think this one will do it. It's not actually the customer's power brick. Yep, it plugs in. If it fits, it goes. Drink. Okay, it's showing some sort of colour there. Does it actually turn on? Hey Bunty, Arilla, Jim, Andrew, Disc Joker, Ed, Andrew. Okay. Okay, it does turn on. I'm just tilting the screen back and forth, trying to look for any sort of indications that it's energizing. One thing I've noticed, we haven't got a green light come up yet. I will say that the design, it's perhaps a little busier than what you'd expect. Yeah, I don't know if this thing's actually booting because we don't even have a green, any sort of activity on the USB. Hey, David? Zoom out. I was hoping I would get my studio light mounts today and the camera mount, but I didn't. So I apologise. It's going to be another long weekend without having better camera angles and better lighting. Hey Greg. In better news, my LCD panels are all worked out. So there you go. It's for the USB-C meter. And one thing I found is that I can drop the brightness of the backlight. It is running the backlight, you might just be able to see that. I can drop the brightness of the backlight down so far that under normal lighting conditions you don't even know that it's really running a backlight. It looks just like a normal reflective only. But then when the lights do go out, let's see if it comes up, the backlight comes into effect. So it kind of makes you think that, oh look, he's got a light detection circuit on there, but really I haven't. So So that works well. And what do we got? We got a contribution from Dudumres. Yet again, you know, you don't have to pay to watch Dudumres. I certainly appreciate it, but just want you to know that you're more than welcome to be here. But if you're going to continue on that, maybe everyone else should contribute too. We should make it a standard thing. What? Caplocks? It is too. Thank you for noticing that. Who was that? Jimbo. What is it? 1, 2, 3. That was just like 2 blinks. So it's 3 long, 2 short. Three long, 2 short. Yeah, so let's go find out what that code is. Let's see, HP BIOS blink code 3 long plus 2 short. Oh well, look, it's a good friend, I think. Memory error code. All right, Graham. Good job, buddy. Let's see if Pionov said anything though. Hey, Pro Engineer. Just because I asked. Oh, it's very nice of you, Pro. That's another brick of coffee for me. Just a while ago, his goatee's only half the size. Yeah, it's March 29. Alright, let's see if it's a memory error then. Before I get copyright struck by him. Well, the number is you're certainly listening, so that's a good start. Fine if you don't watch, I guess. But I do appreciate your contributions. All the time. Okay, let's get the screws out of here. As we go through the usual, how many different types of screws are they going to have in this one type scenario? And how many hidden flippin' pads are there? Although usually, I must admit, with the higher level laptops from Lenovo and HP, if you can actually say that, the more you pay, generally the less dirty tricks they try. So A3X, I expect probably 1 or 2 dirty tricks from this one. Mostly because it's Lucas Disney film encumbered. Okay, that should pop out. Yep, there we go. That there's going to be a hidden. Yep. Also, I have new glasses turning up next week, hopefully. That will allow me to actually see what I'm doing with a bit more clarity. Because the glasses I normally use, which are these ones, they're good. They were originally good for about 1 foot away, 30 centimeters. But over time, my eyes have drifted, and now it's more like 40 centimeters. And that 10 centimeter difference, it's a big difference between being able to sit here and working on the stuff at the bench versus having to sit back here. And yeah, so it's quite noticeable. Hey, John Lockhart. Okay, not sure if there's going to be any under here. Given the fact that it doesn't look like it's been peeled up. Oh, there's another one over here, yeah. I gotta sneeze any second now, hang on. Back. I need to get longer arms. Huh. The trouble is I need that sort of distance just to be able to see what I'm working on. The resolution drops off too quickly for me. Alright, so what style are you? You're a bathtub or you're a tabletop? I should note, anyone watching this video, watching me just pop this open with my fingertips, the only reason that's probably likely possible is because someone else has been in here. This is not the first time this has been opened. If it was the first time it's been opened, it's unlikely that I would have been able to do this. I have a feeling there are screws, maybe? Yeah, there. Jeez. That is loose as anything. Congratulations, you have the usual hinge failure. Ugh. Hey, one way. Let's see if we can... Okay, we're lucky. We're actually able to jam that one out. But that means that's going to drop out. Yep. That was funny how it took the sticker off, but I didn't take the screw out. Alright, it's a bottom drop. Okay, so I got 1 terabyte. Oh, wow, how did that happen? All mashed up there. I don't know if this is going to work, but one of the first things I will often try is just simply go to a different slot. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Depends whether it really cares or not about the slot ordering. Hey there, Keith McDermott. Hey, Catherine. Hinge is a weak point on almost every PC laptop, it seems. It's just like, hi, I'm a PC laptop. Oh, my hinges are broken. It's pretty much how it goes. Okay, we've got a fan spin. Don't yet have a blink code. But we don't have anything up on screen either. It might be that it's sensitive to the positioning of the RAM. Okay. So what are you? You're a... Great. I don't know if it's DDR4 or DDR3 or what. I haven't been keeping track with the DDRs, unfortunately, so I may have to steal one from another laptop. It's okay, so it's DDR3 by the looks of it. I don't know if that one works. I don't trust my own RAM sticks. Remove the RTC. Okay, I will do. Yeah. Gotta remember that some of the machines are sensitive like that. So I always remember the Dell that I accidentally acquired simply because I didn't check that. Okay, we're blinking again on that slot. So it's unlikely to be RAM, as in it's unlikely to be the actual physical entity. I gotta say that does feel pretty damn sloppy. Then again, so does that one. We do have one dot on there, so we might have a bit of corrosion under there. But yeah, that slot feels sloppier than Sloppy Joe. Let's see if we've got voltage. Hey, Nuts and Proud, off to a concert in France. Do I remember Deep Purple? Yes, I do. 3.18, that battery's fine. It could be a DDR3L, yes. We'll check that next. Yeah, Deep Purple, that's a long time ago. I mean, I was actually still too young for that. The only reason I knew Deep Purple is because my father had a LP of them. Oh, Miles is in here. I can't see you, Miles, but I see someone else talking to you. Hey, Oscar. Are we going for corrupt BIOS, are we? Why does everyone go for that? Okay, it's still flashing. Alright, so it's not likely that. Try to tighten that down so it doesn't rip that one out while we're hinging it back and forth. So we're going to have a visual look at the socket, see if we can see anything. Right, that's theirs. Connect to there's no point connecting to an external monitor at this point because we're flashing a BIOS code, so it's not going to even be producing any output. What do you mean when it's not flashing a BIOS code? Okay. Well, can't see anything specifically wrong there. There's that tiny little dot of white there, but that's about it. No, you see, the other problem is that we have no CPU activity, so there's no point putting an external screen on when we've got no CPU activity. If we had a situation where we were blinking green on the CPU indicate, then but nothing on display, then yes, I would hook up an external display. That's what I was going to go for. But while it's not blinking anything, then there's definitely not going to be anything on the display at all. And just checking every pin. It's unlikely, because if it was a physical defect on the socket, it probably would have been an intermittent issue rather than a... Oh, hello. Got a spider leg. Yeah, that's a spider leg. And of course there's also the ones on the back side you got to watch as well. So it's not just the internal side that you got to test, it's all the ones on the other side. It's a bit of a nuisance. Actually, I sincerely doubt there is a fault here on the physical connector in this case. I wish there was. It might be a slightly easier solution, but I don't think our luck's playing that way today. And I do wish that it would work on the second socket, but for some reason it seems that it wants to only work on the first socket. Phase, I'll get to that after I've done the rudimentary checks. That's the other thing, yeah. You've got to clear away. Oh, hello, look at this. We've got some corrosion there, so we've probably got something busted on the other side. One of the generation rails. Yeah, physically I can't fault that. We will stick with the initial concept of what could be wrong first. Then, if we eliminate that, we will look into other things. But there's no point us jumping to other crazy options before we've at least removed the more obvious option. So you get yourself down a rabbit hole of your own making. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this board out, give it a check over, see if we can see any physical indications of corrosion somewhere, taking out something. I mean, it's obviously taking power, so that's a good start, kind of. In some ways it would be better if it didn't. Such a schlep dealing with these damn machines. Just checking the flexes as I take them out, make sure they don't have any corrosion on them. We must have, some moderately basic rails going around, otherwise it wouldn't respond to the power on off request for a start. So we definitely have 3v3 standby or whatever. They did not do that. Don't pull by the wires, Paul, that's naughty. Jeez. Pain in the ass laptops. Fix the PCs, Paul. It's great. No, it's not. I don't know how they mashed that up. That's a pretty bad mashup, actually. I mean, that in itself came really close to smashing up one of those lines. Okay. Oh, the newer Macs are terrible, I will concur. Yeah, the newer Macs are an atrocity. I think if they'd sort of stayed nice and simple, things like the 1932s, hell, the new ones make the A2142s look like a walk in the park. New ones are just terrible. Thankfully, I'm not getting too many of them in. The only ones I've really had in were a couple of shorted caps. So, and I was lucky enough that they were something that was able to be detected, as opposed to being one of those sort of shorted caps that hides. You never find it until just by pure luck you run across it. 5 ohms seems alright for... that looks very much like a CPU type rail, so that's fine. I was just a little bit worried. You can see there's a little bit of balling out there, but not really visible on any of the others, so I thought maybe it was like a crack cap that spat out something. I've had a few of those. Alright, let's have a look on the power. I should have just looked at this while it was in the chassis. But it's easier to move the board around like this rather than having to move the whole damn laptop. A little bit of warmth there. Doesn't yet look serious. Lack of familiarity with any particular board is also a problem in these scenarios. So we're fast running out of that option too. What a pain in the backside. Motherboard code, yeah, good question. I think they've stickied it up. What have I got here? X1BD. That's the model code. It's probably something else. It looks like it's under here. DAX 1BDM 6FO. Jim, I'd give it a 50-50 chance that it'd work now that it's out of the board. Hey creature, why is it a party weekend? You got your payment for your head. Okay, definitely party weekend for you. Yeah. Oh, and with movies, I watched Nobody the other day. That's with Saul Goodman in it. I very much enjoyed that movie. Very much enjoyed it. Better than I anticipated without being... Yeah, it was just great because it didn't take itself too seriously. It was a fun movie. Thanks to Dumrose. I'm just looking at that now. Right, okay. Okay, that's a scam. $17. Go download that. I don't suppose there's a board view by chance. That's too much to ask, isn't it? Okay, so we're doing... I subconsciously want to click on the rails to see where it goes. I guess all these caps here are going to be the decoupling for the DDR, the RAM. These things here, they're not the CPU ones. That's my guess. And you have to guess because there's no markings on the boards. Whereas the CPU ones are all there, obviously. Yeah, I was really hoping for something a little more blatantly obvious. I feel disappointed. The way it does what it does, I am starting to get worried that it's actually a PCH failure. Or rather a memory controller failure. Is that a little chip off that 0 ohm resistor? Shouldn't be. Yeah, it's a tiny defect. It shouldn't be anything. Hey, James Ewing. It's fine. The worst thing is all the status indicators are in the chassis. That's very annoying. I'm just going to pop this back in here. Have a look at... Let's see, where was that? So, bottom side down here. Okay, I can see that corrosion there. You can see in the middle of the screen there's little green splatters. Let's see. Get some hyper aggressive contact cleaner. And just watch out for your eyes. Make sure you don't get splatter in your eye. Found the BIOS. Okay, well, we'll have to see if we need that. But for now, I'm sort of thinking we won't. Now, of course, it does beg the question: what was in there? Why did it get corroded? Okay, look at that. Yeah. How's that bridged between them? This is probably not going to be a conclusive test. Just see if it has changed its behavior at all. Then we'll try yet another module. I'll peel off that front sticker just to find out for sure what it actually is expecting to be. Like I hate the feel of these sockets. They feel very ineffective. That's about the only word. Yeah, normally when you put a memory stick in, you get that slight pushback, the resistance, as you can sort of feel the contacts bite onto the gold contacts. This, it's nothing. It's sort of like, it's just like wide open and sloppy. I said it'd be problem solved if we could just simply switch to the other socket, but it doesn't appear as though we're going to be given that option. I am going to use the chipmunk to be our indicator. La 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 la. Ah, come on, man. Where'd I put that power supply? Oh, these damned things. It's not going to self-power, damn it. Yeah, and I don't know where the... It's not one thing, it's another. Hey dog. Dodemro's latest link, let's see. Download. I'm just having a look now, Dodemro's. Bamf. Let's see. Bin zip, bin zip. Yeah, there's a few things there. Okay, they're BIOSes. And right, they're all BIOS files, right, okay. Jolly good. Alright, well we've got that saved at the moment. Let's just quickly pop this in. Get ourselves access to the power button. I'm just not sure. Yeah, whatever. We're just gonna have to plug everything. Ah, what a pain. See, sometimes it's a separate item. Sometimes it is in a separate flex. Sometimes it's part of the keyboard flex. Yeah, there's no guarantee unless you already know it. So we'll just have to... I'm kind of feeling like it... Oh no, that's the SSD one. Actually, we're going to leave that disconnected. I'm going to pop this out. There we go. That way we don't have to worry about the customer's data accidentally popping up when I'm a moron. So in this case, it's most likely that it's integrated into the keyboard itself. Personally, I prefer the ones where there's a tactile switch on the logic board that it gets pressed. Actually, I think I know where it is. It's on there. It's on there and it comes across here. Because I'm pretty sure that's where the button is. Could likely be wrong, most likely am wrong. That's the standard policy. Oop. Main board trying to jump out. Just stay there, buddy, stay there. Hey, Patrick. Okay. Well, I can take that away. Okay, we don't have any green blinks, so I'm gonna guess the... Oh shit, that just powered off. I'm powered back on. Crapo. blinking at me, buddy? It's not blinking at me. Try that again. Oh, right, it's normal, is it? I wasn't sure because I was worried that one of the little cables might have touched on something. That was my phone, not the... Not a nix. We do have CPU warmth, that's interesting. Yeah, the CPU is getting slightly warm. Not hot, but definitely warm. That's not great. It could be that the whole memory thing is a... I've noticed it's stopped blinking though. Alright, let's find out what this actually is. Whether it's 8 gig something, so I don't know whether it's DDR3L. It's probably 3L. But yeah, it could just be a red herring, this whole memory thing. .3L, yep, 12600. Will the lacquer fan inhibit it though, even from displaying? That's the question. I mean, I can understand if it inhibits it from booting, but often they will still display and they say, you know, fan is not working, which reminds me, I did not receive my ordered fans for another customer today. Okay. Because yeah, from what I can remember, the HPs will come up and say, you have a fan fault, proceed or don't proceed, but it won't, it will actually display though, yeah. Sorry, David, is this yours, David? Is it? Yeah, that CPU getting warm is a real concern to me. Oh, Dara, David, just the fact that you said in the beginning we had changed the memory module, or were you talking to other people? Greg, well, I blew it out with the cleaning solution, so it usually does a pretty good job. I'm just going to try the chipmunk in another port. Okay, they're showing good. But yeah, still, it's like it's stuck in post or something. Not post, pre-post. I'm very worried about that flex. So this is what can often happen when a machine goes through multiple techs, is that you can end up fixing what was the original problem, but then you've got to start working backwards through what the other techs may have created. I'm not saying the techs did do any damage here, but that's a hell of a crinkle there, and I don't even know how that happened. We don't have blinks anymore, Mohammed. We don't have blinks anymore. At least not that I last checked. Shit. Damn. God damn it, put a screw in it, Paul. Yeah, we're not getting any blinks anymore. So I think we've eliminated one issue, which is the blinking RAM. But we've got something else at play too. I'll try one more memory stick. There, we've got power light. Let's see. What? You even have a sticker on you. Oh jeez, got so many freaking 2 gig, 2 gig, 2 gig, 2 gig. Okay, I've got another 3L one here, and I've got a MacBook 2 gig 3. So if neither of those work, then it really isn't the RAM itself anymore. So really not a fan of those slots. Let's put a screw in this board before it falls out on me again. Okay, nice. Interesting. It momentarily just powered up then, just as a plug-in. Yeah, definitely no blink code. Just gonna plug a speaker back in, see if it's squawking at me. And we'll also put the fan back in, see if it's even trying to boot. I mean, trying to spin that. We'll put a screw into the fan because they love to just, if they do spin, they love to jump out and start terrorizing their neighbors. Like a deranged lawnmower or something. Yep, display cable is connected. Yeah, Jim, I probably am down the wrong rabbit hole. But hey, it wouldn't be the first time. God knows it's... Okay, fan immediately spins. And nothing. Useless sack of protoplasm. No, we've got no drive light, we've got nothing, it's just all static. And the screen most definitely is not being energized. Well, maybe it, let me just check state as I pull it out. Yeah, we're definitely not getting a state change on the display. Just to shut some of you annoying people up, I'm going to go get the display. Because you're all annoying, that's why. I would like to get $5 for every time someone makes a suggestion and they're wrong. Only if, of course, they're adamant about their suggestion. If they're like, no, really, no, it's this. It's going to be this. You really should do this because you know it's going to be it. I know it is. And if you're wrong, then you owe me $5. I think that'd be a good game to play. I'd get very rich very quickly off that, to be honest, based on my experience. It would also help to shut people up. Damn it, Jim went for the full retard option. No, Roman, you don't get the $5. Only I get the $5 because see, I get to make my own mistakes. For I'm the one that chooses to make that mistake. But when people tell me what it is and they're wrong, even when I'm not chasing that path, that's when I get the money. But you didn't give me something to do. Anyway, as you can see, no display coming out. So what we're going to do is we will disconnect the internal display just to be sure. Internal display is now disconnected, so it has to go through the HDMI. Yes, this is switched on HDMI mode. And I suppose though, if someone makes a suggestion and I do take it and they are correct, then I think a prize is worth having there. So we've got to come up with a prize as well. Yeah. Okay, time to start doing the MacBook type thing. We just disconnect everything. Not that there's much to disconnect on these things. It's already pretty much all disconnected. I am worried about this daughter board. I'm kind of wondering whether it's got some sort of influence on it. Reflash the BIOS chip. Yeah. You could probably get Fudo to sponsor that. Yeah, Jim, that's a good idea actually. Yeah, we're gonna have like a game show style. People have to... it'll have to be like poker where you have to put your money in the pot first. That could make for a very interesting thing. We do have DDR3L as the default in here, so that is the RAM that's come with it. It is DDR3L. This one's an 8GB stick. We have tried a 4GB 3L 12600. We've tried a 2GB 3L 12600. We inadvertently tried a normal 3. Sorry, this is a normal 3. This is the 3L. All to no avail. I'm just going to put in the standard 3. Standard nerds. Like I said, it's very strange that... like I say, you really want to push this... you really want to push it in to get that grip, but It doesn't want it. It's like, no, no, I just want to float on the outside, thanks. And we've got no audible beeps that I can tell. Not that I'm a best reference. I mean, I'm deaf as a brick at the best of days. Do we have a blinking bar? And we've got no blink code. So I certainly feel like, yes, originally the RAM was a problem with that corrosion on it. We cleaned that up. It's now working. But there is a secondary issue that's inhibiting it from coming out of post. And we've got to find that. Okay, so let us return to the purity of the original stick, which is not this one. We're going to put the two. Just try on a different port again. I wonder if I could put both in. Let's see what happens when I do this. So right now I am doing what hackers probably call fuzzing. I'm basically just fuzzing the hardware. Oh, no keyboard, no blinking. Yeah, there you go. Someone's actually on the ball there. Anyway, we're fuzzing the hardware. Christian's on the ball there. He is correct. It's a HP, thus it is faulty. Hey Godfrey Allen, welcome along. Alright, let's reassemble this stuff. Hardware fuzzing does work in a lot of situations, or it can just at least help you narrow things down. Every now and then, of course, it will create an artificial rabbit hole for you, but in many cases, you can often eliminate a lot of issues, find a lot of things. I mean, WinB, is that's a boot selection, I'm guessing. Kind of like holding down Opt on the Macs, or F9. Usually F9 on the HPs I always thought was the trick. Anyway, let's try again. Power is required. Right, I was going to check the keyboard. We don't have a flash code. Alright, so what was that trick? Okay, which one am I going to try? WinB or WinV? Or lose all? We'll try WinB to start with. We'll just drown the laptop first. Could have sworn I heard the speaker go. Okay, WinB. Can't tell what the current draw is because I don't have a freaking current meter for this thing. No activity on the chipmunk. Yep, no chipmunk activity there. Yep, CPU and GPU, well, I can't tell which one's which, but one of those are getting warm. You annoying piece of equipment. Alright, I think I'm gonna have a look at that daughter board. The one that merges the power button. This one here. Really not a fan of when they have these sort of cascades of boards. Yeah, that all looks pretty damn clean to me. I was kind of hoping maybe there was something on there that I could see. A bit like how a trackpad can hold down a MacBook and things like that. We know the power button works. We know that it will shut itself down if you hold it down long enough. So yeah, there are certainly enough operational aspects of this machine. Is this laptop old enough to be affected by solder board reflow on the GPU? Not really sure. Jimbo, pin 35 on the big FPC. Oh gee, man. And the worst thing is it's on the other side, so it's definitely a take it out. Okay, we're going to give it another look, and if this doesn't, if we don't have any success, then basically it's a dead end job. And I will not be taking it any further. I did tell the person when they sent it. I said, I really actually don't really want you to send that laptop because I can almost guarantee it's going to be a dead end. But I guess they just wanted to have it eliminated of possibilities. And yeah, there's probably a person out there, I don't doubt, that can actually solve this one, but it's not me. It is not me. Miles, I'm going to go with that. That's sort of where I'm heading. That's just a random piece of plastic. It's not... we're going to do an angle look at the board, see if we can see any caps. Why not try a different BIOS? Well, I suspect because once you do that, it's kind of opens up everything else. I mean, obviously I'll just keep the original and flash it. The other thing is, of course, I generally like to leave BIOS replacements as one of the last things I do. I think it's an overused sort of crutch. You know, a lot of people go, change the BIOS, change the BIOS, change the BIOS. It's like the first thing they do, and it's like, you know, there are other avenues that cause failures of machines. And it's not to say that it can't happen, but I'm just saying that I prefer to check other things first. And leave the BIOS replacement as pretty much the last option, or near the last option. Yeah, I mean, unless it's a clearly well-defined BIOS failure type symptoms. like I said, it may well be that in this particular case, but I prefer to eliminate the other possibilities first. And of course that will drive some people mad because they'll be like, just change it. And it's like, yeah, we'll get to it. Can't do everything at once. I guess it depends on what you consider. I mean, in terms of commonness, I haven't found it to be that common with a lot of the machines that I've ended up with. Usually I end up with more like PCH failure, cap failure, internal board failure. BIOS failures here about 1 in 10. That's about it. Like I said, it could be just luck of the draw. But they're not high on the list of actual causes for me. Like I said, luck of the draw. And if you are getting high BIOS failures in your queue, then fair enough. But when I don't, then you have to respect also the fact that I'm going to behave accordingly. Hey, horse. And on Max, well, with Max it's around about 1 in 25. That's about the sort of BIOS failure rate I get. Well, there's our little BIOS. I like Amoose's idea. So what is this? 25064 64-bit. Oh, here's the fun thing. I threw out all of my laptop boards. All of them. PC laptop boards. I literally took them down to the dump today. I kid you not. I said to myself, I've had it with you guys. Like, probably about 70, 80 boards. And it was like, that's it. To the dump. I also dumped around about 30 old Macbooks, like, 2008, 2012 sort of era. It was like, that's it, I'm done with you guys. You've wasted so much of my time. Anyway. Well, what we can do is we can have a look at this and see if it's even readable. I'm not sure if I've got a replacement chip. Let's see, 64. Yeah, Jimbo, that's actually probably a good idea. Sorry. I used to keep it. That's just it. I had a tub of all of the different various PC laptop boards, and quite frankly I was just sick to death of seeing them around. It's like, get the frick out of my hair. I'm done with you. Of course I still have some laptops here, PC laptops. So what have I got here? What's this piece of junk? Windows Job 591. Holy crap, you are old. I would say this probably has a BIOS chip on it that I could use. No, I'm tossing them. When you toss out that old crap, that's when you have the universe turn around and send you new crap. That's my philosophy. Okay, maybe for you the universe doesn't give you back anything, but for me I've found in most cases when I toss out old stuff, clear the way, that's when new stuff appears magically for me. And what do you know, there we go. There's the chip there. anything with MacBooks, anything pre-20, yeah, even A1398, 3332s and stuff like that, they're getting too old now. Alright, so this machine still has its actual battery connected and everything, so I think I'll just disconnect that. Hey Rob Brown. Okay, so this is a Lenovo of some description. And we are going to remove the BIOS without even caring about the fact that it's sitting in its chassis. So we're going to melt and destroy the chassis, but just don't care. You can flash the HP BIOS via USB stick. I'm going to flash it externally, just simply to eliminate all the possibilities. Otherwise, what's going to happen is I'm going to flash it, say, by the USB stick, which incidentally would take me longer. And then some smart aleck is going to go, oh, you should have done it this way. You've got to take it out because in this situation it doesn't work like that. And then I'm going to want to pummel the shit out of somebody. So this way I get to resolve everything in one hit. If you think I'm sounding cranky, you would be correct. Melt, you little bastard fan, melt. See how quickly that came off? That tells you all you need to know about the density and quality of the logic board. Did unres? I certainly wish. Although I'd probably do it through UDP, so it's fire and forget. Pretty sure they're the same package. Ta-da! Same package. Who said that it wasn't? That person's going to get a UDP punch in the face. Unless you're referring to the model numbers, in which case you may yet be right. Unfortunately, I already sent it UDP, so I can't redact that. Okay, where's pin 1? Pin 1 is where the dot is, thank God. So what is this? 25Q64F. God damn it. 25Q64F. Alright. We're pretty much identical here. For all intents and purposes. People telling me that wasn't a match. What the hell? Oh, you're referring to the Apple Mac BIOS package. Ugh. See, Jim, that's the beautiful thing about the discussing this stuff over the internet, is that context is lost and lives are lost too. Let's see, did Harold give me a... Yes, he did. Fortunately, Jim, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to actually first read this one as a precaution, and then I will write the other one. So I'm basically, it's a cover your ass situation. So I'll have a copy of this one should I happen to lose it for whatever reason, and I will also not be using it to flash with. I'll use the other one. By the way, that other board, that's a dead-end junk board. It's a job that was given up on about 2 years ago now. and I just never used it. God damn it, that's a terrible thing. Okay. Alright. Come on. What is this? 1522. Okay. Jim, I'll give that a shot, and to make it work properly, what I'm going to do is I'll leave the heat sinks on there, because you keep it all even, and then I'll go like that just to make sure that they're properly done. That's a good idea. It's a good idea. I do have a proper heater too as well for it. Let's see, what was the suffix code on this? Not that it should really matter. They're all muchins. FV. Fecking violent. Okay, and that's an SOIC 8. Okay. So we have Mini Pro, SP, minus read 1522.bin. Let's go to the schematics. Schematics. Alright. Anyway, we're reading it. It seems to be reading. Hey, Marty's train shed. Yes, it has been a while since you've popped around. Hope things are alright on your side. You've been keeping busy. Playing with trains, I imagine. Sorry, we don't say playing with trains, but exploring the engineering marvels of miniaturized trains. Personally, my favorite is the really, really tiny trains. I think it's not N scale, is it? I don't know, but it's certainly it's very small. It's like barely a half-inch width track, I think. Hey, Bunny Love. It is engaged. Oh, okay, cool. Haha. I remembered something. Oh, it's a Z scale. Okay, make up your minds. Alright, so I don't know if there's much I can actually realistically do with that BIOS chip. Like, took a copy of it for the preservation aspect. N scale gauges the distance of the rails. Okay, that's a fair point because obviously different trains from different regions have different gauge. I understand that. Just. Right, so N scale. Thank you. So now that's the nice kind of clarification to have on the internet. But instead, most of the time, the internet's sort of like, oh my god, you're so dumb. How could you not realize that? You're a freaking idiot. So it's nice when people actually say, this is that and that is this, without implying your mental capabilities or lack thereof. Unless it's me accusing one of you chatters of something, in which case you deserve everything you get. You bunch of idiots. Ach, niemand. Oh, come on, how long does solder take to cool down? Jeez. I'm not even sure if that's properly soldered. Nuts and proud is autistic and proud. Well, that's good. You get to be one of the special people. No one wants to be normal. I should say, very few people really actually want to be normal. Normal is not normal. I mean, okay, you can fall within the bell curve on a few things, but no one really wants to be normal. Everyone wants to be a little bit special. Just a little. Not too special. Okay, so now I've got to find that BIOS. Let's see. Oh, okay, StarWars revision binary file. That was lucky. Download. Thank you for that, Dodumres, if you're still around. Okay, so what we want to do, right, downloads, and what is this? HP. God, I hate people who use spaces. Ah, fuck. I'll be the one. Okay, let's see what Marty's saying. HO scale is 187. Standard gauge is 16mm track HOM, which is 187. Oh, Marty's in Queensland. I forgot about that. 12mm track. Okay, there. It is such a pain that we have the narrow gauge as a general thing here in Australia, it seems. I mean, it's like the train that we had going from, what is it, the Spirit of... I've forgotten what it's called. The one that was supposed to get us from Cairns down to Brisbane in quick time. And then after the first run or two, they were like, no, actually, we can't do that, sorry. Hey, GD Tech. That bar seems to be for a different model. Really? Star Wars. Well, it's worth a shot anyway. We'll see what happens to it. $15 AV 29 blah 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 blah. DAX 1BD. I thought it was a DAX 1BD. DAX 1BD MB6FO. The board number seems correct. Ever thought about taking the GAN or the Indian Pacific? I have not, no. I have taken the Sunlander, which is the slow train from Brisbane up north to come up north. And it was good when it had sleepers, but now they took away most of the sleepers, and it's not so good anymore. I think traveling on a train is great if you can sleep in your own room. But if you have to sit in a chair for more than, say, 8 hours, hell no. Hey, Mr. B-Blood. Well, look, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this pass. Like I said, we have the original, we have a copy of the original. We'll see what happens when we put this on. BID number with a hue editor. Someone means hex editor, but yes. What is a BID number? I don't know what a BID number is. Let's see, Oscar. Okay, Oscar, I'm having a look at your thingamajig now. Ew, easy upload. Oh god. You know you can email these to me. Just email them to me. Yeah, Miles, being on a flight that long, like my flights to and from South Africa, they were rotten. Hated it so much. It's not as long as the Sydney, New York, but it's pretty damn long still. So, Australia has 4 gauges of track, 5 foot 3 inch in Victoria and SA, 4 foot 8 in South Australia, New South Wales. In Queensland, they have 3 foot 6. 3 foot 6 is that for the what do they use for the cane trains up here in the north? Oh, BIOS is written. Because I know every time it's cane hauling season, you know, they've got to haul it off to the sugarcane processing plant. There's always a good number of close calls as people just don't take the little trains very seriously because, yeah, they're small, smaller than a lot of cars. Kristen, yeah, I've got that UEFI tool. Anyway, let's have a look and see if we actually even get any changes of behavior. Or whether we're just pushing a ball of slop uphill with a pointy stick still. Yeah, Kristen, I use that tool for when I am doing the MacBook serial number fix-ups. And you've got to redo the ME region. Ten years ago, I would have been able to do this chip without the microscope. Now, not much of a chance of that. Do you have a train station? We do, not really, no. There's just we did have one here in Charters Towers, but the closest now is Townsville. And in all honesty, I would not call, oh crikey, I just damaged my solder tip. I would not call the Townsville's train station a train station anymore. Now, Townsville did have a beautiful train station, but they decided in their infinite wisdom that it wasn't worth it anymore. And so they didn't knock it down, they moved away from it, and now it's just a platform and nothing else. Australia does not have anything remotely fast so far as trains go. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure whether it's political. We did want the one. There's always been plans for it, but the political, it just doesn't happen. Yeah, the tilt train for a tiny section. It was supposed to be a 220 km/h train. That certainly did not pan out. Derailed at least once that I remember, under its own, just by itself, and then it did hit a couple of things, or there were some issues with the track, and it subsequently derailed again, I believe. At which point, yeah, the current incredibly slow trip, it's basically no different to the Sunlander for the most part now. At least that's my understanding. We all had a lot of hopes that we'd have this delightful, we knew it wasn't the fastest, 220, it's not bad, but it wasn't the fastest. But we were like, oh yeah, we could live with this, we can take trips to Brisbane, and they take about 8 hours. But no, that wasn't to be. I think the first derailment was just simply that they took a bend too quick or something. I can't remember the details. Our trains and stuff here will be able to probably know and explain the full details. I remember being quite upset about it because it was just like, damn it, there goes any sort of hope of reasonable train travel now up here. Remove the RTC and leave it out. Alright. Is this going to be a $5? Oh wait, you've already paid. You've got at least 5 or 6 of those that you can use. You're a prepaid member. Nuts and Proud, yeah, it's named after Mr. Townsend. Yeah, we do not even get anything coming up. Did I not plug in the power properly? It might be because there's no battery. It does fire up for a moment, but yeah, no response on the button. Let's put the battery in. No, completely not at all. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that BIOS actually was alright. Because this one is not alright. Too damn lazy to... Oh man, do you want to do that, Paul? Yeah, pardon me. Yeah, the Domres. That was the HP 15AB289SA StarWars edition bin file that I got from you. Miles, voltages shall not be measured until there is no other hope. In fact, there pretty much has to be zombies crashing on my door for me to start measuring voltages. Yeah, by the way, don't try to do that at home, kids. if you really like fixing up busted traces on a logic board, then sure, go ahead, do that. But otherwise, don't do that. Only let professionals do that. Once again, as per usual, do as I say, not what I do. I learnt that from church. Saving up to visit relatives in Adelaide. I'd like to pop in and have haha, I'm not in Adelaide, haha, and no, I don't do tea and coffee. I mean, let me tell you all a sad story. My poor mother doesn't even get to visit me, and she's in this town. Now, it's not because I'm a bad person much. It's just that I just don't... Yeah. Some people don't like people. It's nothing personal. It's just that it's very difficult. But yeah, I'm not in Adelaide. I'm extremely far from Adelaide. Just because I may have originated there at one point. So the last time I was in Adelaide would have been... I'm thinking 36 years ago. Yeah, you'll have to reincarnate as a cat. That's a good way of doing it. Maybe one day I'll actually have a group gathering. Funnily enough, they're actually more tolerable because then you're not locked into a single person, if you know what I mean. That's why, yeah, Lewis will do group gatherings, but he'll very rarely do a one-on-one. And that's simply because you have the option to be able to remove yourself or whatever without leaving that person in a socially awkward situation. Okay, so what bias are we going to use this time? I should point out, I actually do feel quite bad about the scenario with my mother because, you know, she's, my father's dead. Almost 2 years coming up soon. And, you know, she does fortunately have friends and everything like in this town. But you would normally, under normal social standards, you would expect that the son of, would, you know, be available more often, would be more supportive and stuff like that. And the trouble is, see, I'm just sort of flat out all the time. Mostly because I don't want to end up creating that same situation for my own wife. Ach, nee man, where am I looking for? That's interesting, the thingy didn't switchy. And I've lost my mouse. Have I lost my mouse? Crap. Good on you, Linux. I don't have mouse, folks. Okay, just give me a second and I'll see if I can rectify. Crap. Okay, let's try into a USB 3 slot. Well done, Linux, well done. Okay, above. Linux is actually quite bad for USB stability for some reason. Alrighty. What was I doing? Oh yeah, that's right, we need to flash this. Right, let's see. Linux USB used to be perfectly good, but then when USB 3 came to market, there was a real snafu with the development of the kernel driver, or something about it. And needless to say, it has never been good since. Revision F. DAX 1BDM B6FO revision. Catherine, that I've actually got that one already, yes. Okay, this is what Oscar's got. Oh, crikey, Oscar, which one am I going to get? Catherine, that's the one that I just burned, basically. Do I happen to be on the 520 kernel? Let's see. Uname. Oh, shite in a crite. Can you heckin' flip? Even my flippin'. Oh. Even my flippin' keyboard's down and out for the count. What a frickin' waste of space you are, Linux. Really? You call yourself an operating system. You're an operating system. Your patience be dead on the floor. Let's hijack into another USB port on a completely different hub. Okay, let's try that. Another Nix, great, yay! I think the whole USB 2 subsystem's gone. Don't get me wrong, I do like Linux, but I also at the same time understand that it's a piece of crap at the best of times. But I do like it. Oh, come on. What did I do? Did I yank the wrong cord? Wouldn't be the first time. Because I don't believe in labeling cords. No, that's actually the correct cord. Well, what can I sacrifice? Oh, that's bravo. Yeah, you're not even connected to anything. Okay, here we go. Might get our keyboard back now. That was a gut shot. Okay, we've got keyboard back. Nuts and prouds, I've actually got 2 USB cards in the machine already. I'm kind of pushing my luck with it. One's a 4-port and the other one's a 7-port. Okay. Arnold G. There are 3 board models. Original search for the bid. Oh, okay. So this is what. Okay. G-Hex. Okay, where am I looking for the bid code? Finding hex one. Oh, okay, so I've got to do it from a hex point of view. 08080. Sounds like a song. 08080. Okay, which is that supposed to be hex code or strings? Because if it's hex, it's incomplete in a way, so it makes it hard to search. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's weird. Wonder why bid didn't come up before. Oh, okay. Well, it looks like it's 08080. And that looks like hallelujah. Alright, so 0808. Okay, and of that there's S12 and there's, I don't know what, oh, that must be just something else. Okay, I'm downloading now. Discord. I'm not on Discord at the moment, sorry. Okay. Oh great, now this is not running. Seriously? Yep. Honestly, I need to... There has to be out there a USB card or something like that which legitimately can cope with the stuff that I do. Okay, wait, that's a USB-C port. Can't do that, can I? Nah. We can be terribly evil and do it. Wrong way, it really belongs in the bin at this point, yes. Great. It's not even freaking flashing that. Ooh, someone just bought a license to Flexboard View, thank goodness. That's the wrong way around, Paul. Ah, great. Now that's buggered. This is what I've got to... Yeah. This is always so much fun when everything just comes crashing down around me like this. Okay, let's... Arcade scanner down. It's like I need to have a fail-safe. Oh, now all of a sudden it's detected. Yeah, okay, it was one device. It was the freaking... Yeah. Okay. I just killed one process, and all of a sudden, have a look at this. All of a sudden, all of my devices reconnected. So one process. It wasn't even the hardware, it was a process. Anyway. And we're back. Yeah, which process? That was the question. I've forgotten. I do believe it was actually for my... Pretty sure it was for the compass. The compass is something that I need to fix up. It's... Now can you see? It's a little I2C bridge board. So basically what's happening is I have a compass mounted up on here, and as it rotates around, it, you know, obviously the values change, and based on the values I know when to scene switch. And it is obviously an I2C device. And so that I can talk to it, I have this board here which is programmed with a I2C to USB bridge. But quite frankly, I am thinking of converting it to a serial bridge rather than like a normal, you know, I won't say RS-232 because that's actually a signaling standard as opposed to a protocol standard. But yeah, like 9600 or whatever. So I think I'm going to change that because this, more often than not, tends to be what starts the chain of events going wrong. But yeah, I mean, it in itself is fine, but so what I'm going to do is, well, actually all I need to do is take one of my old USB-C meter boards, because it has the microcontroller to read the I2C already. It has the serial port bridge, the CH340. I'll just do it without that. And the nice thing is it will actually be USB mini rather than this stupid USB micro. Stupidest design. It's way too fragile. I mean, I get it, they wanted a compact connector, but crikey, they really sold out on that. Let's see, I'm trying to think which board I could use for it. Okay, obviously not the big ones, that's kind of pointless. Will these ones work? What was the problem I had with these ones? I'm pretty sure these ones worked. Anyway, so yeah, I just put a USB port. That's the USB serial converter. That there is the I2. Oh, yeah, these will be the tiny 25s or whatever. Anyway, they'll still work. Yeah, shut up, Gecko. I know why I stopped using these, because I ran out of stock of my SOT 23.8 boards. Right. Whereas these ones, what are these? These are the next iteration. Yeah, this will work. And I'll just run the I2C wires, the clock and data and ground into here. Power, clock, data and ground, yeah. That will work. That'll be tomorrow's project. I remember this one was the one where I decided to... Let's go above. This is the one where I decided... Well, initially, to make it easy for the routing the signal lines, I had one port on the underside, one port on the top side, and that way the routing lines don't have to cross over. But yeah, it makes a perfectly good board for doing a lot of things. The only downside is that now this is a, like I said, it's a tiny 25. I could actually do it for a tiny 13 these days. I'll see what I've got lying around in stock, because I've written the firmware for doing I2C really easily on these chips now. That's interesting, my reading code just stopped at 10%. That ain't good. So I must have moved the connector or something. Yeah. What is it? Oh, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I need to just give up. Damn you. It's probably feeling a bit sensitive because it's running over this, all this adapter contraption crap. XHCR Smart Auto Emboss, probably, it should be on. Hopefully this time it will go through. Smart auto versus plain. Well, this logic board is actually... This is a 12th gen CPU logic board, so it's not even that old. But I had this problem even with my 8th gen, so it's more to do, it seems, with something in the Linux kernel that they still haven't really fixed up. And in this particular situation, it will be because of the cable. Like this here, I've got USB-C into an adapter into old, pretty bad old USB 2 cable. How large is the space in meters squared? Probably, let's see, 4 by 3.5, I'd say. So let's call it 12 square meters. Well, I'd say 12 square meters would be about it. Yeah. I need to do a lot better though in here. I've got some of the walls covered with storage, but I need to do better. There's a recess in here, which I can't show because of the cameras, but the recess is about 1.4 meters by 600 deep. It's meant to be for like a cupboard, a wardrobe, and that goes floor to ceiling. I want to do a better job with that. How much isn't occupied? Probably about 50%. Well, that's getting stuck at that 10% again. I don't know what to think. But yeah, that's obviously not a physical connection issue, that's something else. Like all this crap here, that all needs to... The original plan of this bench that's behind me here, it was meant to be a standing PC general IT sort of bench, in the sense of, you get a person's desktop computer comes in, or the laptop comes in, and you're just standing up and you're working on it, pulling parts out or whatever, and then clear it out. But the style of the work I do now is very different to what that was originally built for. And so now it becomes more like a oversized shelf and doesn't have a good functionality. Also, what doesn't help is the fact that there's, let's see, you can't really see it, but there's a window there as well. It's a pretty big, I've got two windows, like you can see this one, obviously very clearly, but same as that, also there. So about half of my wall space is lost due to large windows. By the way, don't forget, this chip is one that we pulled from the Lenovo. It's not there, and it read before okay. Re-verify after reset USB. Could be a set bit issue. Okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. But it wrote it before okay, before we had the USB crash and burn. No, it shouldn't be a one-time programming chip, because then I would never have been able to program it in the first place. Like I said, it worked the first time, and it already was flashed at that point. B-Blood, I do agree, I should actually just go to sleep. We've been going 2 hours. 2 hours on a, this is why This is why I say no to PCs. I'm sorry. It's just pissing the night away. Yeah. Alright, let's see how we go on the read and verify. Yeah, it was a cable issue up through that USB port. Hey, Mr. Miser. Hey, laptop disassembly. Yeah, it's different if you've got the same sort of models every day. Yeah, it's different if you're equipped to deal with these models all the time. But when you're predominantly doing MacBooks, then doing the odd PC is a bit of a disaster. Unless it's going to be a case of you find a distinct shorted cap or blown, something blatantly obvious that you pick up in 15 minutes, then you really probably should just pack it back up and send it back home. Well, Faze, we're going to find out soon enough. Well, right now this is Oscar's 080AO bin file. I mean, if nothing else, we should at least get some sort of post, which we're not getting at the moment. I mean, the previous one that we just tried, it didn't even power on. Slightly warm. Yeah, Faze, it's the only way. I spoke about this in a previous stream. It's basically the only way to effectively run a business. I mean, it's one thing if all your expenses and everything else like that are covered, or if you're just doing it for casual fun. But from a business perspective, then it's just a disaster to chase these ones. Not getting the right angle here, obviously. That's clearly a terrible solder join, but we're not worried about that too much at the moment. The point is that it's soldered. Oh, it's the EC issue with version, yeah. More complications. Either way, look, it's either going to boot or it's not, but I'm pretty much done. Did I even have the RAM stick in that? Oh yeah, there it is. Just thinking it'd be funny if I actually didn't have the RAM stick in it. Oh. But it still should have powered on. That's interesting, that auto powered on for a lot longer than before. Let's go to above. But it's not responding to the power button. And you know why? Fuck my day. I didn't plug in that daughter board. Remember how I was cursing about daughter boards? Yeah, that's why. Crap like that happens. And now we've got power. So that previous BIOS actually could have worked. But it doesn't look like it. Looks like the same crap's happening. Jim, harsh, so harsh. Yes, the screen is in. What I'm mostly judging by here, you can't really see it, is the. Oh, we've got it. I just saw. Yes, we're alive. We're alive. We're alive. It just flashed something. And that was it. It got a green blink. As I said, see now, all you people are coming out saying, see, we told you it was the BIOS. And as I said, it's a case of I have to eliminate the other options first. And then if we get to the BIOS and we reflash the BIOS, then so be it. But I'm not going to jump on the BIOS as the first thing every time. Because for my personal experience, I've had more than enough situations where it's not the BIOS, and the thing is, it can add a complication to your diagnostics after that. At least we know it boots. We know it can display the screen. I am seeing it is flashing, others in its green lighting. Hey, thanks, Ed. I think that's actually one of the hard things when you're doing, what do you call it? When you're doing live streams and things like that, is to not get too hooked in too much to the customer, not the customers, the chat suggestions. I'm not saying you can't make suggestions, I'm just saying that when you're doing the diagnosis process, you do have to make sure you at least follow through on what you're trying to follow through. Otherwise, you end up with a whole lot of loose ends. And in the end, we turned out to the BIOS, but it's kind of weird that just it turned itself off because it was saying there's no fan. So I guess what I'm saying is that just because I don't do it first doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. It's just a case of I need to follow through on whatever diagnostic sequences I'm going to go through. And sure, maybe I'll waste 2 hours this time around, but how much time did I save in the past? So I'm not trying to be obnoxious, I'm just trying to say that everybody has their routines, and it's important that you follow those routines, otherwise you will be lost. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Okay, we're now going to just chips in. Okay. Loose frame pins, yeah. Yeah, the scope rarely comes out. Like I said, I just need people to understand that. Like I said, I'm not trying to be difficult when I'm saying, no, I'm not going to do that right now, or that I think that has a low chance. It's just a case of statistically on this workbench, other things come first. It keeps shutting itself down at the moment though. Oh no, here it comes. I think what might have happened is because the battery wasn't in, the CMOS battery, it might have... I'll give it a minute or two. The CNC is not doing anything. It hasn't done a damn thing. Enter, reboot the system. Checksum's invalid. That's fine. We expect that. It's not rebooting. Fan is... keyboard is plugged in. Oh, that'd be great, Phase. Good thing I didn't actually change anything on the, what do you call it? Oh, yeah, God, help me if that is the case. I'd be very surprised. Dells, I know, will do that. I've had a few Dells turn up and people are like, we just want to get the data off, and it's like, I can't do a damn thing. Supposedly, Dell is supposed to keep a copy of that code on their Microsoft account, and I've never found anyone who has it on their Microsoft account. What the hell is this thing doing? Look at a Ubuntu stick I can stick in here. Oh, there it goes. Here we go. Product information not valid. Product information program is missing or invalid. System board, blah, blah, blah. Everything's invalid. Fantastic. Loving it. Okay, so I guess the issue we have here now is, can we repair the old BIOS? Or can we reflash this one with the appropriate BIOS? Okay, so let's try and do a network test, PXE. It's sniffing around to try and find a bootable system. Let's see, customer data protection thingamajiggy has to be done here. In UFI tool, extract padding and NVRAM, replace in new. Okay. Just upload the original and someone fix it. Okay, laptop. That's probably a more realistic way, and I'm happy to pay someone $20 to do that, if they feel that's worth it. I just want to see if it boots after what you just said before about the BitLock issue. Put the fear of God in me. Okay. Arnold, I got no problem paying people. I mean, this is a commercial job. I pay people, subcontract people to do things for me. There's no harm in me paying you. Okay, I'll just throw a Windows Spino. There we go. What's it saying? Getting ready. I think we had two issues here. One was that spot of crap on the RAM. I think that played an issue initially. And then that may have caused the BIOS to get effed up. Hey, Tom George. So Dell had the hard drive fault, Dell's service number on the machine, that refers to machine, original BIOS, hard config, particular machine. Okay. Is that, did they have your, okay, yeah, so that's got Windows booted on it. Cool, yeah. Alright, so we have a win there. In spite of my obnoxiousness. Oh, fucking hell. Sorry. Emotional damage. Let's see. Arnold, Arnold, you know what you're doing. I'm going to stick with that. You're on the ex-Rossman Discord, the dog Discord now, as it's known, I believe. Alright. It's fixed. There you go. Two issues. RAM with the flashing originally, the blinky blink code, and then the effed up BIOS. We got there. It was painful. I didn't enjoy any of it. You guys made it even worse. But thank you. So, I'm Lead Farmer and Adamant and Torrance. Oh, okay. I know Lead Farmer. Yep, right, cool. Okay, I'm out of here. Thanks for sitting by and not pulling your hair out too much. I'll see you on the next one. You'll be good. Or don't be good. Do what the hell you like. See you later. Yate, except It's a trick, but you might not like it so much, so